And do you remember the first day you heard about ChatGPT? Since then, the technology has skyrocketed. When it first launched, you could use it to write a budget. Now, you can use it to replace yourself. And if you think I'm kidding, let's see about that. I'm going to show you 10 really cool hacks that are going to save you time and make your life easier. Let's go. Hack number 1, the negotiation whisperer. If you need help writing the perfect email for a tricky negotiation, whether it's for a job, car lease, or rental unit, ChatGPT can be your secret weapon. Someone recently told me that there's nothing in life that can't be negotiated, and this blew my mind. It's so true. We take so many scenarios at face value when in actuality, most things are negotiable. How much you pay for things, the relationship agreements you have with people, the list goes on. You know, you can tell a good negotiator from a great negotiator when they think outside the box. Like playing Monopoly with a family member who negotiates taking out the garbage for Baltic Avenue. Was that on the table? Well, it is now. Because thinking outside the box sometimes takes a little bit of creativity. It also takes high emotional intelligence and inner calm, which you might not have in the heat of the moment. So that is where ChatGPT comes in. It can be a huge lifesaver to help you get one step closer in finding a mutual agreement and ultimately getting what you want. First, describe your situation and desired outcome, and ask it to generate a persuasive email for you. You'll definitely want to tailor it to your specific needs, but ChatGPT will give you a strong foundation to start. Okay, hack number 2. I can't tell you how many times I've used it to spark my creativity. If you're hitting a writer's block, ChatGPT can be your muse. Describe your copy idea or provide a starting sentence and ask it to continue the story. You can even specify genre, tone, or audience details. It will generate creative narratives, helping you overcome writer's block and get those creative juices flowing. Personally, at work, I use this to develop marketing copy. I'll have like a general idea of what I want to say, but usually it's too early in the morning to think of snappy copy with alliteration and rhyming and God knows what else. So actually, sometimes what I'll do is I'll start on my own and then I'll just give up and I'll go to ChatGPT. And then I wonder why I ever bothered wasting my time. So you can get clever, grammatically correct, punchy copy in seconds. You can ask it for Facebook ad copy. You can ask it to write scripts for your videos, even a presentation deck. In fact, I wrote this entire script using ChatGPT. Just kidding. That would be so obnoxious. But actually, an unexpected way to use ChatGPT for copy is to analyze your competitors' negative customer reviews on their product pages or forums. Once you find your competitors' weaknesses, you can address those gaps in your own product and website copy. It's definitely an unexpected tactic that can boost your competitive edge. Hack number 3, use ChatGPT to help you get unstuck. Let's say you're halfway through a problem. ChatGPT can help you. This actually happened to me recently. I was trying to find the relationship between how much money I had made and how many likes I get per video. And then ChatGPT was just like, oh yeah, use a correlation coefficient calculator if you want to be sure. And I was like, damn straight, I want to be sure, ChatGPT. Whether you are in Excel or analytics or Tableau or whatever, if you have a numbers problem and you're trying to get unstuck, ChatGPT will be your best friend. Hack number 4, personalized financial planner / money saving expert. Now, in the wise words of Dan Dembski, you want to be concerned about your recurring expenses. Those are like a vacuum to your bank account, like the rent, like the car payment, like paying your workforce. I don't know if he said it exactly in those terms. I'm just paraphrasing, but the point is that spending habits, whether personally or in business, can be analyzed and tweaked by ChatGPT without the need for a financial advisor or planner. So you can copy and paste your statements or other financial information into ChatGPT and ask questions like, where can I cut back? Or am I investing my money right? Do you guys remember that article that came out a while ago stating that millennials are financially unstable because they spend too much money on avocado toast? I remember that. And then there was backlash saying that it wasn't true because it's not avocado toast that drains your bank account. It was something else. But basically what I'm saying is that there's always going to be money management trends that come and go, but there's nothing like good personalized advice coming from a free robot. Or if you just want a human, here it is. Just spend less than you make. And don't borrow from Paul to pay John. That one's actually came from my great-grandmother Ruth. This is a handy hack indeed. Now, personally, I wouldn't want to divulge personal information to a robot that I've never met. But if you're brave and could use some free advice, you can actually uncover money-saving and money-making hacks that you didn't know existed. Hack number 5, use it as a replacement for Google. Have you ever been searching for something that you just need a quick answer for, like, how do I block someone on my contact list? Well, ChatGPT can give you far more succinct answers than Google can. Are they always right? No, they're not. So what I'm trying to say here is that ChatGPT is an amazing, amazing tool for daily Google searches that are oddly specific and yet quite straightforward. Don't you love a good commercial break? No one loves a good commercial break. I feel like kids will never understand the fear and panic of running to the bathroom before Desperate Housewives comes back on.
Carla, don't just stand there! Go get help!
Help, please!
That's
This, of course, is prior to live TV that you couldn't pause, but alas, this is a commercial break. Now, I need to tell you this one thing. I've said it before, and I will say it again. I have one life to live. I have no time to sit around and play games, okay? And in this life, I'm gonna keep it real. So when I say that I love Shopify, it's because I truly feel it and believe it. I use Shopify. I recommend Shopify to my friends and family, and some of the biggest businesses in the world, like Alo Yoga, Skims, Spanx, Fashion Nova, they all use Shopify. The day that a better platform comes out, I will stop bugging you about this. I will, but until then, I will sing it from the rooftops. Running an online store is insanely easy and quick to set up. So if you're an entrepreneur or a budding entrepreneur and you want to start selling products online, I will leave a link for you guys in the description box below for you to get your free trial. This is a very special, a very exclusive deal that I offer in every single video. So don't walk, run. Hack number 6. Let's say you have a huge Excel document, for example, and you need to find repeated instances. You can plug that into ChatGPT. Or this one's a good one. If you're given a contract with amendments and you just want to make sure that you're keeping track of what has been changed before you sign it, plug that into ChatGPT to help you find those common points. And yeah, that's hack number 6. Moving on to hack number 7. ChatGPT can help you find less expensive product alternatives based on the very specific criteria that you might have. Let's say, for example, you're about to invest in a software for your company. Before you do, you want to do a little bit of research to make sure you're getting this thing right. So you go to Google. Most of what you see are ads and blog articles, which are probably also ads too, let's be real. But what you can do is you can take to ChatGPT to tell it what the features are that you like and the budget that you're working with. Give a list of competitors that you're considering and ask for a less expensive alternative. It's a really great way to do product research and save money while you're at it. Hack number 8. I am obsessed with this. I use it a lot. I use ChatGPT to help me find alternative ways to say things. So I will just verbally spit out whatever the heck comes to mind, and I'll be like, ChatGPT, help me say this in a way that is business professional. And it will make my writing more clear and to the point while still getting the message across. This is great for meetings with your employers or employees. This is great for presentations and pitches as well. This is amazing for readouts to your partners and stakeholders, and basically when you feel that you need to speak eloquently and instill a sense of trust and confidence, using ChatGPT will help you get there. Hack number 9. Use ChatGPT to summarize agreements. Now, I have not done this before, but it sounds like something I would do. So what you would do is you copy and paste the agreement that the big companies are making you sign before using their products and technology, and basically just see what the through line is. Teach me something new. Hack number 10. Do you ever wish that ChatGPT could sound just a little bit more like you with the responses that it's giving you? This was super trippy. The other day, I asked ChatGPT, based on everything that I've ever searched, what have you gathered about my character and personality? It gave me some answer like, sorry, I can't do that. I can't remember how I worked around it, maybe peer pressure, but finally it spit out like, I think you're this and I think you're that. And I was like, wow, I totally agree with everything that it's saying, which is really interesting because when you ask ChatGPT questions, you're really completely unfiltered. And now all that to say is you should ask ChatGPT what it thinks about you. And if you agree with it and you agree with what it's saying, then you should train it to give you responses to be more like you, both morally and in tone of voice. That way you won't have to fight with the way that it writes back to you. It'll be like you're talking to a smarter version of yourself. That's a crazy hack that I haven't really heard anyone else talk about because I randomly figured this out on a lazy Sunday, but let me know if you guys end up using this because I feel like this one's a game changer. All right, we're giving you a bonus one, okay? Hack number 11. Okay, so you know how every successful person ever talks about having a mentor, but what if you don't know anyone that's mentor worthy? So if you really want a mentor, as in today, ChatGPT offers a solution. Just do some research on the correct prompts and train them to speak in a certain voice. So for the perfect prompt, I would use something like this: context, specific information, intent, response format. You can always find a real human mentor. However, those relationships take a while to build. But if you want to get one right away from the POV of the many greats out there and for free, ChatGPT is the one. You're welcome. Let me know, guys, how often are you using ChatGPT? What are you using it for? And have you found any crazy discoveries? Tell me a story, guys. I want to hear it. What are you guys using ChatGPT for? Please put me on because I'm always open to new and fun ideas.
If you're only using ChatGPT to write emails or brainstorm captions, you're seriously missing out. Number 1, AI product image generator. ChatGPT has expanded its abilities and can now create high-quality, realistic images, much like dedicated AI image creator tools such as Midjourney or DaVinci AI. All you have to do is write a detailed description of the image you want, and it will generate one for you. For example, if you want a matte black candle with gold lettering on a marble table at golden hour. Boom! ChatGPT can connect you to tools that make that image appear. No photo shoot, no props, no lighting setup. Perfect if you're just launching and don't have samples yet, or if you want to test out different styles before committing to a shoot. And do you want to know what's even better? Once you do have the photos, you can upload them and say things like, make this look like it's on a beach, or remove the background and add soft shadows. It's like having your own photo studio minus the budget, time, or hassle. Number 2, one-line storyboard maker. With this hack, you describe a scene and AI turns it into a full storyboard with visuals. So let's say you've got a quick idea for a video. Type in one sentence like, a sneakerhead runs through NYC, dodging pigeons, and collecting rare kicks. And ChatGPT, with help from tools like DALL-E, can instantly turn that into a full visual storyboard, frame by frame, with descriptions and AI-generated images. This is perfect for creators, marketers, or anyone who needs to pitch, plan, or visualize a scene fast. Number 3, real-world object describer and enhancer. So, basically, you snap a pic of literally anything and let AI give you the rundown. Let's say you're a vintage seller. You stumble on an old pair of boots at a flea market, but there's no label, no context, just vibes. Snap a pic, and this AI tool gets to work. It can identify the item, estimate when and where it was made, suggest a resale value based on current condition, and even pull up similar listings online, complete with pricing, trends, and direct links to competitors. Number 4, image editing with text prompts. You can now edit your pictures directly within ChatGPT. Just upload your image and describe the changes you'd like in a text prompt. Here's an example. For the picture of the candle you created, take the word candle off of it and now place it on a table on the beach. Need that one perfect shot for your product page or social media? Now you can adjust it on the fly without opening a single design tool. Just text and it's done. Oh, and while you're at it, you can also upload a photo of yourself and ask to be turned into an action figure. Or upload a picture of your dog and write, make my dog look human. Because why not blur the line between AI magic and absolute chaos? Number 5, break down legal or financial docs. Reading legal or financial documents feels like decoding a secret language no one actually speaks. But instead of stressing over a lease, insurance policy, or even a partnership contract, you can just copy and paste it into ChatGPT and write, explain this to me like I'm 12 years old. And you get instant clarity. You can also ask it things like, are there hidden fees? What are the cancellation terms? What does this actually mean for my wallet? Number 6, auto draft cold emails or pitches. ChatGPT can write you the whole thing, no staring at a blank screen for 40 minutes, no awkward intros. Just give it a few details like who you are, who you're reaching out to, and what your goal is. For example, write a friendly pitch email from a social media marketing agency to a local smoothie bar about refreshing their logo and packaging. You'll get a polished draft in seconds. Funny, formal, casual, whatever vibe you want. You can even say, make it sound like a Gen Z marketer, or give me a short and punchy version for LinkedIn. Once you see how fast and easy this is, you'll never waste time writing cold emails the old way again. Number 7, summarize anything instantly. Reading long emails, articles, or reports, we don't have time for that. Drop it into ChatGPT and say, give me the TLDR, or again, summarize this like I'm 12. Done. It works for 50-page PDFs, industry reports, blog posts, emails that took 20 paragraphs to say one thing. You'll instantly get the key takeaways, and if you need to act on them, like writing a response or turning them into a task list, you can ask for that too. Number 8, hyper-personalized replies. And after you get the TLDR of that painfully long email, ChatGPT can also write your reply, no copy and pasting required. It won't just sound like a good response, it'll sound like you wrote it. Not just for emails either. This works for texts, DMs, and even captions. It picks up on your tone, slang, and emoji habits. For example, say I want to create the perfect DM to a videographer on Instagram whom I admire for an upcoming job. I'll prompt it by writing, in my own tone and style, write me a DM to send to this videographer asking if he would be interested in shooting with me for a new product launch. And Within seconds, I have a polished message ready to be sent. Number 9, instant slide deck generator. Just drop in a short brief, idea, or doc, and it'll spin up a clean, professional deck complete with layout, titles, bullet points, and even visuals. This ChatGPT hack is great for team presentations, pitching investors, or, let's be real, convincing your group chat why Cabo is the move this year. You know that one coworker who always has perfect slides? Yeah, they use this. You're welcome. Last but not least, number 10 is auto aesthetic matching. Whether it's your brand, your outfit, or your entire IG feed, just drop in a reference image or describe the vibe you're going for. Think clean girl aesthetic, gorpcore, or 2000s cyber grunge. ChatGPT will generate matching visuals, brand color palettes, post captions, hashtags, even product mockups, all synced to the exact aesthetic. This is great for designers, marketers, content creators, or anyone who just wants that grid to look instantly put together. And there you go, 10 ChatGPT hacks that'll seriously save you hours, whether you're building a business, freelancing, or just trying to get your life together. If you found even one of these helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to learn with Shopify for more time-saving business building tips, and drop a comment down below if you've got your own favorite ChatGPT hack that we didn't mention.
What would be better than a team of experts helping you grow your business? How about an expert assistant that knows your business inside and out and can help you research, strategize, market, and analyze like a pro? If you're not using Google Gemini, you are missing out on a mastermind of a business mentor, my friend. And you don't want to miss out. Who likes missing out? So you can access Gemini on the web, and you can access it directly in your Google Workspace. So like directly in Gmail or Google Docs or even Google Sheets. You can use Gemini for everyday tasks and research like writing emails or proofreading your essays. But it can also help you make travel plans or find new recipes based on the ingredients you already have. You can also literally create your own business from scratch using Gemini for things like idea generation or product development, website copy, product descriptions, image creation, the list goes on. And you can even have Google Gemini act as your personal business coach to help you run said business. It's like having a whole team of experts working for you, but for free. To access Google Gemini, you can either access it on various Google Workspace apps, which we'll get to shortly, or you can go to gemini.google.com. You'll see here that you have your previous chats along the side, and you enter your prompt down here. Let's talk about writing prompts though. There is an art to this, and if you're not writing your prompts properly, you're wasting your time. So, what I recommend doing when you're starting out is just asking Google Gemini how to formulate your prompts. Let me show you what I mean. I want to start a tech store that sells refurbished laptops. I need a step-by-step guide to get started. Can you help me formulate a prompt for you that will generate the best response? Look at how thorough that prompt is written for you. Let's copy and paste this into the text box. And then now you have your new guide to starting a business here. And something cool that Gemini does is it gives you 3 drafts of the response, so you can pick the one that you like best. Or export it directly to Gmail or Google Docs. We'll talk more about these integrations soon. Now let's say you wanted to change the original prompt to get a different response. You can edit it with this pencil icon. So let's add, this will be a one-product Shopify business. And then you'll see the response was rewritten to match your new prompt. As you start asking Gemini to help you write prompts, you'll get a feel for the way that Gemini likes these prompts written, and then you can freestyle it. You can also use external links in your prompt. So why would you do this? Let's say that you're an online store selling refurbished tech products and you're looking for remote employees. A great way to do this could be to generate a blog post on the comparison of a 9-to-5 versus flexible hours for your website and have a call to action to check out your job postings. Here's how to do this in no time. Google your topic. So for this, it would be 9-to-5 versus flexible hours. Find an article that you like, paste the link into Gemini, and say, summarize this article and give me 3 top takeaways. Pretty cool, right? Now you can say, use this information to generate a blog post for my new store that sells refurbished technology. Convince readers that a flexible job is better for mental and physical health. Have a call to action encouraging readers to apply for their dream job at our company. Let's dive into the world of Google Workspace. So this page right here is on workspace.google.com under plans. And there's a link here to access Gemini on your personal plan. Once you've activated it, you'll have tons of integrations with your Google apps. You'll also see a Gemini button in all of your Google apps. So if you select it, a chat will open up similar to the web version, but this means you don't have to switch tabs. I'm gonna show you how to use the integration in each app, and I'll throw in some examples of how you can use Gemini for marketing along the way. Remember that you can use any of these prompts in the free web version of Gemini as well. They just might need a little tweaking. In Gmail, at the bottom, you have an option to help me write, or you'll see a pen icon. Then you can write in a prompt, a customer e-blast about our Black Friday sale where we are offering 30% off all refurbished laptops. Then you can refine it to make it either more formal or elaborate or even shorter. You'll also have the option to recreate it. Then you just click insert. Make it a little bit more personal and branded. Remember that AI is just a starting point. You always want to rework it in your own style. You don't want it to sound like AI wrote it, you know? If you love a good spreadsheet but suck at creating them, on Google Sheets, head to Help Me Organize and just type in the type of spreadsheet you want made. So let's say you want a content calendar for SEO blog posts. Type in something like, plan me a month's worth of blog post ideas focusing on top search questions around the refurbished tech industry. Organize it by content pillars and add a spot to link the scripts. Here's a hack in the meantime though. Head to Google Drive, go to the Gemini button, and say find the file and insert your file name in quotations. Analyze the data and give me 3 top takeaways. Copy the output, head to Google Gemini on the web, paste it, and write the prompt, write me the outline for 3 presentation slides on this. Pretty cool. But watch this. Create a prompt for each slide that I can insert into Gemini on Google Slides. And yes, you guessed it, let's head over to Google Slides. Head up to the Gemini button, and you'll see prompts or you can write your own. Paste that prompt from Gemini, and if you like the slide that it generates, select Insert, and then you can edit it to your liking. Did you know that Gemini can also create pictures? So you can do this on the web version just by saying create an image of, or you can do it right here in Google Slides. Let's say you wanted to change this image. Just select it, and then select Create Image with Gemini, and then prompt it. So I'll say an iPhone screen with an arrow pointing up. Here you can select the style that you want it in, and you'll have a few images to choose from, and then you can insert that image right here. You can also use Gemini in Google Meet for taking notes. This feature is available for Google Workspace users with certain add-ons. If you have access to it, Gemini will automatically capture meeting notes and organize them in Google Docs to share with your team. And this is kind of cool. You can have an AI-generated background. So like maybe you're in your bedroom and you have a client meeting. You can just type in a text store and you'll have that background generated. The possibilities are insane. Okay, one last thing, I promise. Create travel plans with Gemini. So make sure Google Flights and Google Hotel extensions are on and say, help me generate a travel itinerary for my business trip to LA. Let me know the cheapest days to fly and 4+ star hotels under $500 a night. Well, you witnessed it right here. Looks like I'm going to LA. So, if you didn't gather it from this video, literally anyone can start a business now, especially with help from AI and user-friendly platforms like Shopify. You can say, I want to start a successful business on Shopify selling my AI coaching services. I want you to write me a 3-month plan to get my business up and running. Make sure it's written for a complete beginner and walk me through the process step by step. Your very own business mentor, ladies and gentlemen. So it says here, set up your Shopify store. So you could even highlight that section and be like, walk me through setting up the perfect Shopify website step by step with theme recommendations and headline ideas. Now you have a personalized Shopify guide for your business idea. Gemini is like having a super powered brain in your pocket, helping you with anything and everything. And the coolest part is that AI is only gonna get smarter, learn more, and do even more mind-blowing things. So now is the time to get on board. So get out there, Start exploring and start building your business smarter, not harder. I'm about to jump into an AI-generated podcast and ask these fake people questions.
Understanding salt, fat, acid, and heat
is the bedrock of confident and delicious cooking for everyone. Yep, go on.
Hey, what would be the fundamentals that I need to know to become a good home chef?
That's a great clarification. You want to focus on being a good home chef?
And the wonderful thing is the fundamentals we're discussing absolutely apply.
I found a new love, and it is called NotebookLM. NotebookLM can help you research, learn, and summarize insanely large amounts of information. Rather than just scanning random sources, you choose the sources that NotebookLM pulls information from. NotebookLM allows you to upload and summarize up to 50 pieces of source material, including PDFs, books, YouTube videos, audio recordings, Google Slides, and website links, saving you hours of potentially exhausting research. And it's gonna highlight connections between the topics and summarize all the resources for you. Now, NotebookLM has a built-in chatbot. It can answer questions from all the sources you gave it or just one. For instance, I'm trying this whole adulting thing, and I decided to up my cooking game, which probably everybody needs to do in this day and age. So I put in 3 best-selling books about cooking fundamentals, all covering different topics. I then asked the chatbot what kitchen tools I need to have on hand, as well as what spices and oils I should fill my kitchen with. You can see that it gave me 2 structured lists defining how each tool and spice should be used. Okay, this next part is a game changer. NotebookLM shows you the source of the answer using these little numbers above the writing. This way you know exactly where the information came from. A very important tip, make sure to save any answers that you really like from NotebookLM because Google is not going to save it, which sucks if you really liked their answer to something. It does this because it doesn't retain any of the information you give it. If you're like me and you like to listen to information more than read it, you are going to love this tool. NotebookLM can actually turn all of your source material into a podcast for you to listen to while you drive, work out, or even cook. It is the perfect habit stacking trick. So here's how to do it. Of course, upload all of your source material to NotebookLM and click Generate Audio Overview, or click Customize under the Deep Dive Conversation section. This is going to be in a conversation style, which in my opinion is much more engaging than just one person talking. Another cool thing is that you can actually customize the podcast to focus on specific topics, questions, or even different audiences. Guys, listen to the podcast that it generated for me around cooking fundamentals. It feels a little bit strange to listen to fake people talking, but it actually was quite engaging and easy to listen to.
Fat is often demonized, but in cooking, it's absolutely essential.
Right. It adds richness and flavor, and it helps with texture, too.
Hey, what would be the fundamentals that I need to know to become a good home chef?
That's a great clarification. You want to focus on being a good home chef?
And the wonderful thing is the fundamentals we're discussing absolutely apply.
This book, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, really breaks down cooking for everyone.
It argues that understanding these 4 elements is key.
You can change the playback speed if you want to speed it up, and you can download your podcast or upload it to YouTube, Spotify, or any other platforms. But make sure to double check for potential copyright issues. If you currently have a test of any kind coming up for work or school, this tool is going to be your best friend. NotebookLM can automatically generate study guides, quizzes, and key term lists from your notes, documents, or any other source material. To do this, upload your course transcripts or study materials, then click the study guide option on the right-hand side, and it's going to generate a whole study guide for you. So scan through the guide, quiz questions, answers, and key terms to make sure it is exactly what you need. And now you can access this at any time right in your notes. Do you have a bunch of completely unorganized voice notes on your phone and you can never find the one you need? Same. It's a serious problem. So it's really cool because you can actually upload a ton of your voice memos into NotebookLM and get it to transcribe and summarize them for you. Now you can find the exact info that you wanted from your voice note by asking the chat targeted questions. If you need to find key dates from historical events, articles, or books, you can actually get a timeline breakdown right in NotebookLM. To create a timeline, just create a new notebook and add a website link or text from a historical source. Then click the timeline button, and voila, you will now have a timeline. Not only highlighting key events and dates, but also key characters in the story and who they are. If you need to work with source material from another language, translate text, or maybe even learn a new language, NotebookLM can help you out by using integrated translation tools. First, create a summary or briefing document in NotebookLM. And if your goal is to learn a new language, for example, you can upload documents that cover topics that you really want to learn in that language. Then copy the text and paste it into a translation tool like Google Translate or DeepSeek. Translate the text into the language you need, and then and use NotebookLM to create a language learning guide for you. You can see that it created a study guide for me based on the books I gave it and translated the study guide into Spanish and English. This would be super helpful to not only learn a language, but to learn a language on a very specific topic. If you're often in meetings or sharing presentations, it can be super helpful to know why some meetings and calls are more successful than others. So a little hack is to upload presentation slides and call recordings that were successful and the ones that weren't, and then get NotebookLM to analyze what you did well and maybe what you didn't. To do this, just create a new notebook, then upload your presentation slides and call recordings. Use the chat feature to ask questions about speaking patterns, consistency, tone, and overall messaging. This way you can spot trends and areas that you could improve based on its analysis. Do you have a pressing decision that you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed about? Well, NotebookLM can help you with that. You can upload relevant information and journal entries, and then use NotebookLM to generate different perspectives and insights to help you decide or brainstorm ideas. The best way to do this is by also adding YouTube videos around the topic so it can pull that information in. To do this, add documents, articles, and personal notes that will give NotebookLM enough context. Then ask open-ended questions and explore different angles. You can also break it down into a podcast and listen to them discuss your decision in depth. Who knows, you may learn a lot and gain a completely new perspective. YouTube has a great wealth of knowledge, but sometimes you just don't have the time or motivation to watch a whole video. NotebookLM actually accepts links as sources, which is super handy because you can input any YouTube video that you would like. So to extract information and insights from YouTube videos, just copy the URL and upload them to the platform. From here, you can ask the exact questions that you came to the YouTube videos for in the first place. Okay, now this is one of my favorite ones. If you need to repurpose different kinds of content, for example, turning a YouTube video into a blog post or a reel into a tweet, or even turning a video into a script, NotebookLM can help you do that. You can combine multiple notes together and get NotebookLM to create an outline for a blog post or a video script. You could upload a YouTube video and ask it to summarize it into a script, a blog, or a LinkedIn post. You could turn short form content into tweets or Pinterest quotes. Basically, you can create any new text-based content that you want around the source material that you gave it. So there you have it, 10 powerful ways to use Google's NotebookLM and work smarter. Let me know in the comments which use case you are most excited about and how you plan to use NotebookLM in your daily life. DeepSeek could be saving you hours of your precious time every single week. And contrary to what I initially thought, DeepSeek is not just another chatbot. It can code a game or even make an AI tool. It can solve complex life problems, teach you a language, copy other AI apps, and a ton more. The crazy part is that it's free. I'm like, take my money. And DeepSeek is like, nah, I don't even do that, which is crazy. And guys, people who don't use AI tools like this, they're gonna be at a serious disadvantage in the future. I'm gonna break it down and give you the 10 DeepSeek hacks that are gonna blow your mind, because honestly, they blew mine. Okay, so DeepSeek can create a custom AI tool for anything that you want to automate. You can run the tool you made right in the app, or you can export it. But make sure that you ask for it to be made in HTML form. You can even tell DeepSeek what your problems are, and it's going to suggest an AI tool to help solve them. To show you how it works, I'm gonna make an AI hook generator for Instagram Reels based on the top IG lifestyle creators. So I asked it to build the code and the UI. It actually built it out for me, and it even showed me its entire thought process while building it. Kind of like a real person, which is creepy, but also cool. To use the tool that I built, I have to click Run HTML in order to test it. And if you want to export your tool, you have to copy and paste the HTML into a text editor, like TextEdit or Notepad, then save the file and open it in your computer browser. DeepSeek is also going to give you the specific steps that you need to set up your tool. Just to check, I asked DeepSeek what other tools it could generate for me, and it literally made me 5 new AI tools. It didn't just tell me, it literally made them. Okay, I'm gonna test out this number generator and get it to pick a random number of push-ups that I need to do. So here we go. You have to put a minimum and a maximum. So top I'm gonna do is 20. And it gave me 13. Yay. I really don't want to do push-ups. But anyways, you can see that it works really well, and it literally built this for me in 5 seconds, so you can build any kind of fun tool like this. DeepSeek can also be used as a thinking partner to help you look at the pros and cons or potential risks of a decision. So tell it that it's an expert in the field and then go ask the big question. But make sure to give it as much personal context as you can, and make sure to click on the Deep Think button so it works properly. The goal is to not only pay attention to the answer it gives, but also how it thinks about the problem at hand. You can break down its thought process and use it to help you make better choices in the future. As an example, you can give it information on your investment portfolio and have DeepSeek look at potential risks, tax implications, and give you some suggested moves. DeepSeek can literally create an entire landing page from a single prompt. It can also consider psychological triggers to increase conversion rates while building it. So I got it to create a girly landing page for mini detachable purses, and it actually built out a pretty compelling landing page. And you can see how it broke down the scheme and psychological principles that it used to make it. It also tells me what it needs from me in order to fully build out the landing page the way that I want it. I would definitely recommend trying this yourself and just work with it until you get a design and functionality that you love. However, if you do need a more complex website that can host e-commerce products, track your analytics, and connect to AI tools and apps, I would recommend Shopify because you can build out a whole website within a few hours using their templates. And I've put a free trial down below just for you. Okay, if you're looking to have a little bit of fun with AI, then you're really gonna like this one. DeepSeek can actually create games from scratch, which is so much fun if you have a creative mind or you already have a creative game idea. So I gave it a pretty complex mini game and it understood the assignment. I did have to prompt it a bit more before it gave me the design elements and the functionality that I wanted, but it's really cool. And guys, when you make one yourself, be sure to ask for the game in HTML format so you can easily test it out right in the platform. DeepSeek is going to provide the code, instructions, and controls for you to play. I feel like this would be super useful if you were trying to teach people something. You could literally make a game out of it for them to learn, which is super helpful. Okay, so I made a little game based off my cat Bella and Cheeto, and basically they have to like catch the fish, but they get distracted by this little cheese. If they get distracted, then the fish runs away. But every time they catch enough fish, they like level up and get cool outfits and stuff, like little belts or hats or whatever. So anyways, it's just really random and fun. You can make a game based off anything that you want. So highly, highly recommend. Look, I just leveled up. See? Super fun. DeepSeek can also clone other applications. This literally means you can create a free version of any app for you to use since DeepSeek is free. So to test it out, I got it to clone Grammarly and it honestly did a really good job. You can see that the interface resembles Grammarly and it corrects my terrible grammar, which is good. And if I spent longer building this out, I could probably create an identical platform, but I just wanted to show you how it works. I decided to ask DeepSeek if it could build a Hootsuite clone. It did build out a rough outline, but it's a very complex platform. So to build it out fully, I would need to add in some integrations, but you can see that it actually gives me instructions on how to build it out. I wanted to put DeepSeek up to the test and give it a really complex math problem to solve. So I went back to ChatGPT and asked for a complex but solvable problem. I put it into DeepSeek to solve and it showed me the whole thinking process of how it broke down the problem. To be honest, it was so complex that I didn't understand any of it and it kind of went on for minutes, but according to ChatGPT, it solved it correctly. Unlike ChatGPT, DeepSeek is open source and can be downloaded to your computer to run locally without the internet. You can use a platform called LM Studio to download it and run the DeepSeek model right on your computer. Downloading the model allows you to use DeepSeek's capabilities even when the servers are down or without any internet connection, which is a very cool feature. While other tools can translate, DeepSeek, especially with the reasoning model, gives translations that are more natural for native speakers to say rather than the direct translation. You can see that it translated my sentence into how people would actually say it in that language and gave me the pronunciation. It put a lot of deep thought into it. You can also get DeepSeek to teach you the language or ask it questions about it, which is so helpful if you don't have anyone to teach you a language but you really want to learn. DeepSeek can also generate a tailored study guide on any topic. Just give it a spreadsheet of vocabulary, a history book, or any other information, and ask it to create a study guide or flashcards that you can test yourself with. Lastly, if you want to start a business but you don't really know what to do, you can give DeepSeek a bunch of context and have it brainstorm ideas. You can also get it to embody a certain entrepreneur you like so it speaks the way that they would. Get it to ask you questions until it gives you the perfect business plan. You can also get DeepSeek to create a mission statement, a logo, and help you with your general business style. Use it as your personal business coach and assistant. DeepSeek isn't just another chatbot. It's a powerful AI tool with some incredible capabilities that can make your life a lot easier or honestly just more fun. So go out there and put DeepSeek to work for your project or business. Do you dream of building out your own AI business or tool, but you have no coding experience? Say hello to Vibe Coding. You can now build out AI tools without any coding experience using AI platform builders. Vibe Coding is creating modern day millionaires, and anybody with a laptop can get in on the action. action. Look at Peter Levels, who built out 6 AI apps, generating him millions of dollars every single year. Look at Mark Liu or Danny Postma. This could be you. Why should you watch this video? Well, at the beginning of this video, I had no idea how to vibe code. At the end, I actually created my own AI tool that I can now sell on the market. And if I can do it, you can do it. We'll cover finding a viral idea, structuring and building your tool, building a beautiful user interface, connecting your AI model, automating it, marketing it, and monetizing it. Let's go build a new AI business and make you some passive income. Now, before you get ahead of yourself and start building out your platform, the most important step is finding a viral app or software idea that actually solves a problem. Your idea must meet these 3 criteria. 1. It solves a real problem. You want to identify everyday frustrations for a very specific market and solve them. 2. It's simple to understand. Your solution needs to be easy to use and understand for the people using it. And 3. It addresses a big market. Make sure that enough people experience this problem and are willing to pay to solve it. You can find this out using market research tools like ChatGPT Deep Search, Crayon, and Exploding Topics. You can also use ChatGPT for idea generation. Ask it for app ideas that solve legitimate world problems based on the current demand that align with your passion in, and then put your passion there, that will be simple for the user to understand. You do not want to have to beg people to buy your stuff. What better way to build out your software interface design than to take inspiration from software that is already killing it? A great tool for this is called Mobbin. You can use the platform to find design inspiration from apps like Duolingo, Spotify, and Netflix. They have over 100,000 screenshots available to scroll through and save for inspiration. Lucky for us, we no longer need to be developers to build out an AI app or platform. So here are some AI coding tools that you can use to build out your concept with no coding needed. That is the AI's job now, which is very nice. So there's Relevance AI, Bubble, Bolt, VoiceFlow, OpenAI, or Agentive. With these platforms, you can drag and drop interfaces and pre-built AI components to build out your dream AI tool. To give you a brief rundown, here are some of the AI tools that you can create with these kinds of apps. You can create an AI chatbot, an AI web app or iPhone app, an AI agent or assistant, data tools, automations and workflows, or content generators. There are a lot more, but each platform has different strengths when it comes to making each different kind of tool. Next, how will your AI tool be structured? You want to think about the customer journey from the point they open your platform to the point they get what they came for. Every AI tool should follow a simple structure. First, there's the input. The user asks a question, like, how can I save $500 per month? Next is processing and prompting. The AI analyzes the user's spending habits, identifies areas to cut costs, and then generates a personalized saving plan. Then there's the output. This is where the AI responds with a tailored recommendation, for example. It might say, based on your expenses, you could save $500 per month by cutting dining out by 20%, canceling unused subscriptions, and setting up an automatic savings transfer. And then it might even offer to create a budget for you. As an example of another tool, Christian Pavarelli made an AI tool that turns people's voice notes into LinkedIn posts by first processing them through ChatGPT and then Claude. You're going to need to think of what kind of integrations and tools that you need in order to create the full workflow for your AI tool. I'm going to show you how to add integrations later in this video. I decided to use OpenAI to create an AI assistant. I initially worked with VoiceFlow, but then I found that OpenAI was easier to integrate with the other platforms. VoiceFlow is a little bit more complex to work with. However, it does have a super cool feature that allows you to train your AI assistants with website URLs, which I really liked because with OpenAI, you can only use files for this. Once you've built out your AI tool, you will have to build out your user interface so that people can actually use it. Some of the no-code AI builders I mentioned earlier will include a user interface, but some of them you're going to need to connect to another platform in order to build one. Good options for building out a UI are Bubble, Bolt, or WordPress. I found that Bolt is a lot more beginner-friendly than Bubble. Bubble is great for custom apps and SaaS products because you can use their templates and customize them. However, with Bolt, you just use their AI chatbot and it's going to build out the code from scratch. You can give it visual inspo, integrate tools, and you can ask it what you need to do next, which I found super helpful because it wasn't just building the code for me, it was also coaching me on how to build the code. It's also connected to Supabase, so you can customize the code yourself afterwards if you are a little tech savvy. Now, once your AI model and UI are ready to go, you can use something called APIs to connect them together. You can also use APIs to give your AI tool a lot more cool features and integrate a ton of different applications. An API is an application programming interface. Basically, you use APIs to connect other platforms to your current workflow or AI model. I wanted to connect my OpenAI assistant to my Bolt app interface. I did this by generating a secret API key from OpenAI and then adding it to my Bolt app code. You can see that after I did this, the OpenAI chatbot is working in the app. A little tip, you definitely want to make sure your API codes are safe and kept secret. Make sure to copy and save your API codes as well because you will only get access to them once. You may also need some help from postman.co to break down your API code so you can easily integrate it into your AI tool or workflow. It depends on the platform whether you will need this or not. Now that your AI tool and UI are created, it's time to get creative. Let me introduce you to Make.com. It's a super innovative automation tool that connects different apps together and makes your workflow a lot smoother. It takes care of repetitive tasks and it can link over 2,000 different apps, again, with no coding needed. Plus, their interface is really user-friendly. I'm gonna create something called a webhook for my project. Once the webhook receives certain information, it's going to trigger a set of actions that I give it. As an example, a webhook in Make.com can automatically capture data from a Typeform or Google form, send it to a CRM, and then generate a personalized AI-powered email and notify the sales team. Now, I'm going to connect my Make webhook workflow to my Bolt app so that I can send emails to my users with the requested information. And of course, after doing this, I ran into like 20 of these error messages, which leads me to my next point. There can be a lot of bugs when trying to create an AI tool, and I ran into like 5 million while trying to create mine. That is why it's super important to test, and test even more. If something isn't working, you can just reprompt it. In Bolt, for example, you can actually tell the AI chatbot to fix it, and it goes to work fixing the issue. You can also pop your AI tool or app into Cursor AI and let it help you out. So if you're stuck on a bug or you need to clean up your code, you can just ask Cursor AI's code editor. It's going to suggest fixes, autocomplete your code, and even help you find files or functions without having to deal with a huge hassle. Tools like these make the process a lot smoother. Now guys, once you're ready to launch, it's best to run a beta test with a few users and gather feedback. This way you're going to know what you need to update with your AI tool before the official launch. Now that you've made a one-of-a-kind AI tool to serve the world and solve their problems, you will need to market it. Here are the steps that you can take to ensure that you have a successful launch. First, you need to build a landing page to highlight the benefits and features of your tool. Add customer testimonials, the founder story, and anything else people would love to know before they sign up. You want to make sure there's a buy button or maybe a book a call button, and potentially even offer a demo. And make sure people can actually download the app on your website. Another way is to do direct outreach. You want to collect leads using tools that find verified emails and phone numbers. So good tools for this are Apollo or LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Then once you find them, reach out to your ideal clients on LinkedIn, email, and DM. A great hack is to actually offer them a free trial of your AI tool. This is one of the quickest ways to get paying customers. Once they try your app and fall in love, they're going to want to pay for it. You can also create social media channels and post organic content sharing what your tool does and explaining how it works. Another method is creating UGC and running ads on platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok, depending on where your target demographic hangs out. Now, before getting into specific monetization strategies, the most important thing is that you avoid just sharing the features of your tool. You want to make sure you're promoting the value that users get after actually using it. Now, here are some monetization strategies for you to make some money with your AI tool. First is pay as you go. You can charge per user, so people only pay for what they need and how they use your app. You can do subscription tiers, so you can offer different plans with more perks at higher levels. You can do white labeling, so businesses can just slap their logo on your AI and they can sell it as their own. You could do one-time purchases with extras, so you can sell your tool once but keep the cash flowing in by selling add-ons. You can do referral perks, for example, give users rewards for bringing in new customers. You can even offer AI services on the side, so you can offer done-for-you options for those who need some expert help beyond just using your platform. You can give smart data insights, so you could sell your platform's analytics without compromising user privacy. And lastly, you can do enterprise packages, so you can hook up big businesses with custom AI setups. Now get out there and go create your new AI business. It honestly took me about a day's work to figure it out and build my own. And guys, a really big hack is that most of the platforms have educational content right on their websites to help teach you how to use their tools. So if you feel a little lost, just know that there are resources out there every step of the way. And the crazy thing is that once you create an AI tool, it's gonna work for you 24/7. This is one of the quickest ways to reach a passive income. Join the AI revolution and build your reputation as one of the OGs in the vibe coding world. Welcome to the AI Business Challenge. And today's question, can AI build you a killer business plan? I'm going to show you how to prompt AI to build the perfect personalized business from the ground up. I've chosen 3 AI mentors. One will be left standing and the rest will be defeated. We're not killing AI today. All right, I have 3 tabs open. One with ChatGPT, one with DeepSeek, and one with Google Gemini. We are gonna find out the best business coach. You are gonna be my business coach. I want you to ask me questions until you have enough information about me, my interests, and my current situation to help me build a business plan that I can use to take over the world. I mean, to make money. I will be rating you on how clear, concise, relevant, and achievable your responses are. I just put it into Gemini. We are now asking ChatGPT. And lastly, we're asking DeepSeek. Ooh, we're already getting answers. Gemini says it's excited to help me, which I like. That's very emotionally supportive. ChatGPT says, let's get straight to the point. Not messing around. And DeepSeek is really on like getting the good score. It literally just like spoke it back to me. It's like, I'll get clear, concise, and relevant questions for you. So a little less personality on the DeepSeek side here, but Gemini gave me 5 questions. And whoa, ChatGPT gave me like a crazy extensive list of questions, like 4 phases. Like this is a real business plan situation, I feel like. Okay, and wow, DeepSeek gave me 7 sections. So let's kind of start with Gemini here. Okay, I'm gonna go through this as quick as I can to see who gives me the most amazing business plan the quickest. If they ask me a question, I'm only gonna answer their question. So they better ask me some good questions. Okay, so right now I'm kind of just bulk answering all of their questions individually, and I'm gonna see what they give back to me. So ChatGPT's questions were super detailed and I really liked this. They asked me my ultimate goal for the business, how much money I wanna make. It asked me what kind of lifestyle I want, which I really like because this is super important when you're building a business. It asked me what assets I have right now. Like if I have clients, network, software, audiences. It's a really good question because it makes me think of anything I currently have that I can actually use practically. And then it asks me how much capital I'm willing to invest up front, which is a really good question. It actually wants to know, okay, like how much money do you have to invest? Because depending on how much money I have to invest, that's really gonna affect the business plan. And it actually broke it into 4 phases, which was fascinating. So it was breaking it into business clarity and vision, strengths and resources, market and opportunity, and execution and scalability. So it looked at each kind of phase of the business. And what big problems in business do you see that no one is solving well? So it wants me to actually fill a gap in the market. I'm really loving the ChatGPT questions. Like, it's really good. This is what I would ask somebody. And do you want recurring revenue, one-off sales, or a mix? Definitely recurring revenue. Thank you very much. And what's the easiest way you can start making money with the least amount of effort right now? Again, so many good questions that you might not think of when you're starting a business. And I think that this is why it's so cool to have an AI business coach, because when you're first starting, you have no idea what you need to even think of or approach or just the problems you need to solve. So I feel like ChatGPT is doing a really good job of showing me all the areas that I need to pay attention to and the problems that I need to solve. So let's move on to the next one and see what it asked me. We're gonna look at Gemini now. Gemini literally asked me 5 questions, and just after looking at ChatGPT, it's just so not extensive. So it asked me, what are your top 3 to 5 skills or areas of expertise? Asked me, what are my top 3 to 5 passions or interests? And what is your current work situation? And then it asked, what's your current financial situation? And lastly, what are your long-term goals? So these are good questions, but they're just
not super extensive. I did say to be concise, so it might just be taking that to heart and just like really wants to get to the point, you know, not mess around. So could be a good thing. Depends what it gives me after. So I'm gonna answer that and then we'll come back and see what it tells me. Now we're gonna go see what questions DeepSeek asked. So funny enough, DeepSeek actually broke it down into 7 sections, but there's less questions in each section. It's kind of different how they broke down the structure of their questioning. First is my background and interests. So what industry or field am I most passionate about? Do I have any specific skills, expertise, or experience that could give me an edge in the field? What motivates you to start a business? That's really important because in business, you're gonna only stay in business if you're motivated to. Am I starting it full-time or as a side hustle? Again, asking about my existing resources. I really like this question because some of the questions I feel like in ChatGPT would be hard to answer if I didn't know anything about starting a business. So they kind of assume you have some level of understanding. I like how thorough DeepSeek and ChatGPT were. So I'm gonna answer DeepSeek's questions in a bulk answer and we're gonna come back to it and see what it gives me. So between the 3, to be honest, I am liking ChatGPT the most. I like the way it's asking me questions personally. And then I think right now DeepSeek is in 2nd with Google Gemini in 3rd. I'm gonna withhold my judgment now because the final verdict is gonna be the actual business plan they're gonna give me. So I answered Chat's questions and I'm gonna go back and see the response it gave me. Okay, I already have a business plan from Chat. That was like so quick. It's just like, boom, we're ready, we have a business plan. It gave me AI-driven consulting and scalable knowledge products, which I like. The reoccurring revenue stream, scalability, which is super important, and my monetization strategy. So consulting will create an immediate cash flow, whereas digital and AI products for long-term growth. This is the current ChatGPT business plan. I'm building a high-revenue, scalable AI consulting and education business that helps businesses integrate AI into their marketing, content, and operations. The model is designed for fast cash flow now and long-term growth with a clear path to exit for millions. I'll start by offering high-ticket AI consulting and done-for-you implementation services targeting businesses that need AI but don't know where to start. This establishes authority, generates revenue quickly, and funds the next phase. Ooh, the next phase. Next, I'll build scalable, recurring revenue products like AI coaching memberships, playbooks, and automation tools, so businesses can implement AI without needing full-time consultants. Ooh, that's kind of nice. This moves me from service-based income to a product-based scalable model. I really like this because when it was asking me about how I want to scale, I mentioned that I don't want to be needed for the business and that I ultimately want to have something that I can make and continue to sell forever. So it did that well. So based on ChatGPT's plan, the business problem that I'm solving is that a lot of businesses want to implement AI, but they have no idea how. So that's where I come in and help consult them on which AI tools to use and how to implement them. So it gives me the problem we're solving, the people we're going after, how to scale it, and how to systematize it in order to exit in the long run, which is amazing. And it also is giving me the plan for current cash flow and reoccurring revenue. It's thinking at some point I'm not going to want to be running this business in the long term, so how am I going to scale it and systematize it to exit? So I really, really like that. I'm excited about this business because it's something I can do remotely, which is amazing. It's actually genuinely helping people. The market's growing and it uses my unique skills and abilities. So going back to Gemini, it seems that it's already asked me a whole new group of questions, which is interesting because ChatGPT asked me a bunch of questions up front, whereas Gemini asked me a few questions, I answered, and it asked me more questions, and then another group of questions. These were really good questions, but I didn't like that it grouped it into so many different questions because it kind of felt overwhelming. I'd rather it just be one big large group of questions, but the questions themselves were actually really good. It almost was more thorough than the other ones, but just took a lot longer. So between ChatGPT and Gemini actually broke down my business plan into daily action steps and even smaller than that, what I need to be doing every day. And it feels a lot more achievable and doable. So I will give it a lot of points for that because looking at this, I know exactly what I need to do today, tomorrow, and the next day. There's no guessing. Whereas I felt like ChatGPT was more generic. Okay, this is fascinating. DeepSeek gave me a completely different business plan. It has month 1 to 2, month 2, 3, 4 to 6. And you know why it did this? It actually asked me my business timeline. It wanted to give me exactly what I need to do in each month in order to get where I want to go within that timeline. It's saying that I build a subscription-based coaching and resource platform for aspiring creatives and entrepreneurs. So it's telling me to build a platform out, which is actually kind of cool. I really like this idea as well. It's different. This is more of like a SaaS company, whereas ChatGPT and Gemini were putting me more in a service-based business. It's actually kind of fun. I'm really loving this one. It's even giving me a backup plan. If the business doesn't gain traction in 6 months, pivot to a lower cost model. Focus on digital products only or reinvest in a different niche within your expertise. It's fascinating to see how they see differently or how their questions led me to this different outcome.
A few moments later.
Okay, I just took a break, made a coffee, did my makeup, and I actually took another look through the plans and I decided to rank them on a few more factors. 1, a clear and achievable strategy. 2, a concise framework. 3, the relevancy. 4, creative innovation. 5, resource recommendations. And 6, of course, time and efficiency. So number 1, a clear and achievable strategy. How logical and achievable are their business plans? DeepSeek gave me a plan that flows step by step, like building a subscription platform with tiered pricing. And what stood out is that it actually gave me a backup strategy as well. It's not a perfect roadmap, but it feels like something I can really run with. ChatGPT went bold with the vision and gave me a really good plan to scale and exit my business. And I like that it focused on the short-term and the long-term revenue streams. Gemini asked some smart questions, but I found the output kind of vague and it was a little bit messy to piece everything together. A concise framework. How structured and easy is it to follow the plan? DeepSeek basically handed me a playbook with numbered steps, subheadings for the phases, and even a rough timeline. I feel like I could honestly get started on this today. ChatGPT broke it down into steps with timelines as well, but it wasn't as detailed as DeepSeek. However, I feel like I could definitely start following it right away as well. Gemini did use phases, which I like, but it wasn't as structured as the others, and again, I found it kind of hard to follow it from beginning to the end. Relevancy. Do they use the relevant information that I gave them, and do they understand the current market demand? DeepSeek used my skills, interests, and current circumstances to create a really relevant plan for me. It also projected revenue from a subscription model and broke down the tiers based on current market prices. ChatGPT also used my skills, interests, and current circumstances to create a really relevant plan for me. It also put some typical consulting rates right now, along with a 2-year SaaS revenue goal breakdown. However, it didn't actually break down exactly how I would get there or how many sales I would need to do. Gemini just completely skipped financials entirely and didn't even know how much I should charge for my services. Creative innovation. How fresh and exciting are the ideas? DeepSeek suggested a subscription platform with AI-driven content. I thought it was creative and also doable. However, ChatGPT pitched an AI-powered SaaS with white label tools for other consultants to use, and I really liked that it had a long-term plan. It wasn't just thinking in the now about making money, but it had a future thinking hat on, which I appreciated. Gemini, in my opinion, did not come up with as creative of an idea, and it also separated my businesses in two rather than finding a way to integrate them, which I found kind of messy. I would have preferred if it just put it all together in one business. Resource recommendations. Does it list specific tools for me to use? DeepSeek named tools that I can use to build and market my business. I could literally copy and paste this plan into a checklist and start working right away. I like that it gave me the tools to actually do what it's telling me. ChatGPT mentions ads and SEO, for example, but it doesn't really give me platforms or tools to use to execute the plan. Gemini suggested a content calendar and automation tools, but it doesn't come up with the exact names of the platforms. Lastly, time and efficiency. How fast did they actually give me the business plan? ChatGPT was the fastest at 10 out of 10 speed. It literally gave me a plan after barely asking me any questions. It was very, very fast. DeepSeek comes in second with a 9 out of 10 speed. It took a little bit longer, but was very thorough and efficient. And Gemini is the slowest, and it kind of dragged on with way too many questions in my opinion, so I gave it a 7 out of 10. So at the end, DeepSeek wins with 52 points out of 60, and ChatGPT is in second place in my opinion, and unfortunately, sorry Gemini, but it came in last place. It was really fun to compare all these tools together and see their different strengths and which ones came out on top, and I will definitely be using DeepSeek in the future a lot more. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. It was so fun to do this video with you guys. I had a blast just testing out the AIs, and I hope that you found some value from this. So if you learned something, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know which platform you are excited to use, or if you have any questions about them as well. And let me know if you had fun with this video that was kind of improv and up in the air, or if you enjoyed this style at all. Let us know that as well. I would appreciate it. Okay, I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.